Can you put your hands together again once more for Mr. Hadere, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, what a day. So when we started, I said, turn to your neighbor and say, you are the change I've been waiting for, right? So now I want you to say that again this time, because now you've gotten some really great content, and I want you to think about the kind of change that you are already. So turn to your neighbor and say, you are the change I've been waiting for. And to your other neighbor, say, I am the change you've been waiting for. So my assignment here is really simple. I have the privilege of being up and close with this person. So it's one thing to dream, another thing to really execute. And to see how someone can sacrifice day in and day out for this dream. To see how someone can put his hand in his pocket and bring out for this dream. To see how someone can have sleepless nights for this dream. You know, the gift of time is that it really exposes people's character and who they are authentically. And when you're really up and close, you can really see the ups and the downs. And so I really count it a privilege that I'm here to really welcome him to this stage, because whatever he is selling, I want you to buy. And when he says jump, I want you to ask how high, because I have not seen anyone who is super passionate about this assignment, about this mission, about this cause, that he will spend himself to the last penny just to make this happen. And so it is my privilege and my honor, and what a blessing it is to welcome on stage the founder of the African Immigrant Collective, Dr. Nnamdi Chukwuemeka Iheanacho. Can you please put your hands together for him as he comes? Keep putting those hands together. Keep putting those hands together.
I was beginning to wonder, who is that? What are they talking about? Wow, what a day. I think from this point on, Stella does my introductions. That was incredible. Thank you so much. And yes, it's one thing to dream and chase, but I think it doesn't happen without support, without your support system, without a ruthless executor, and that's what Stella is. And nobody is safe when it's time to, when she buys into a vision, nobody, and I'm talking about including myself, like, relax. But I always say she's my secret weapon. So she's incredible. If you are, all of our speakers kind of got a dose of the greatness of Stella and, all of the greatness that she is. And I really want to take time to celebrate and appreciate her for all she does within the African Immigrant Collective as our CEO. She's amazing, she's incredible. Want to quickly also appreciate everyone. I want to ask everyone to do me a favor, or maybe somebody at the back. Please tell people outside to come inside. I know we'll continue networking, but this is very important for us. If somebody can just say, if you're not having an emergency, please come inside. Let's have this moment together, because this is People Tower. Now, this is, after I'm done, there's still one more panel, so please don't be in a hurry to leave. I know a lot of people have left, but this is important. Thank you all again for being here. Thank you so much. When we talk about thriving beyond borders, you don't thrive beyond borders by yourself. And so the power, and that's why the keynote speech, there's just so much value to take away from it, right? There's only a limit to how far we can go running solo. And my journey and our journey to AIM has been full of that. It's been about people and connections, right? The reason why we started this, I'll take us back a little bit to how AIM was born and how we started this journey out. I started my immigrant journey, came to do my master's degree here in the US, just like many of us, F1, visa. I had one of my friends who was here. I can't find him anymore. He's left. But he said F1 is it's like smack of the beast on your head. When it's time to apply for a job, if you have OPT, employers are like, I don't want to talk to this person. And going through that and then having to deal with the consequence of, I know I'm really good at this. I've interviewed better than everybody else. I literally did an interview in one of my, when I was trying to get into this into programs, not a co-op, but we had this exchange programs in school then that they would come and hire from UNC because they had partnerships. And after the interview, our career person literally told me, Nnamdi, you are the best interview, they told me. And then after a while, they went ghost. And that broke my spirit. In my mind, I already saw myself working for, the bank is merged now, so I can call their name BB&T. Right? I saw myself working, I saw myself doing rotations and traveling. I saw it. And it was just gone like that. And there were so many other heartbreaking moments. But the thing is, I didn't have a place to go ask questions. Okay, what do I need to do differently? If you're in my situation, where I was, there was nobody else who could relate to my story, who could relate to my journey. So eventually I left Wilmington and moved to Atlanta. And in 3 months, I was able to get a job that was going to give me sponsorship. The first job, and I'm going to tell some personal stories. The first job I got, the whole time I didn't know Sai used to work at Income then. But that was the first encounter where myself and Sayu, we worked together. But why did I go for that job? There was a friend or a friend of a friend in our circle who came one day and said, hey, I got my sponsorship. And this was the company that sponsored me. And so when that same company was going to interview me, I was like, we die here. we're not going. But it was, I took that, I got 2 offers, one in charter in North Carolina to go to South Carolina, and then the one here. The charter one was going to pay more. But I know they filed for somebody in this one. And so I took less and stayed, and got a job, took the job at Income. I made that decision because of the people around me. Because I finally saw people who were navigating the journey like myself. I got into the path we've had a lot of computer science and information systems people. I've also been in that lane, computer engineering as my bachelor's, computer science, information systems, master's degree, all of that. So too much computer plus certifications for no reason. And speaking of certifications, the first time I met Dr. Isi, we didn't really meet. I was doing an internship in Port Harcourt, 2002, 2003. Maybe 2004, because I got to school. Okay, the math is not, I don't know. But 2000 and something. And it was a free unpaid internship with NIT Port Harcourt. Because it was unpaid, they told me, well, you get to take 2 classes for free. Since they weren't paying us, and I was coming from, I can't start telling the place, but I was coming from a far place to this place every day. So I took 1 SQL class and 1 server administration class. The faculty for the SQL class was one Isioma babe then. If you ask me anything I learned in the class, I don't remember. There was just a fine girl teaching us. But now, fast forward to several years later, what do I do today? SQL. I kid you not, that's what I do for a living. That's my primary day job, is doing SQL. One day my wife woke up, like, I met this lady, she's amazing, Her name is Dr. Isi. I didn't make any connections anybody could be Dr. Isi. And she would come talk, they'll go have lunch, this is new Dr. Isi in your life one day. So the husband was doing a birthday party. And then we came out and I saw from far. I'm like, does Dr. Isi have any connection to Port Harcourt? He said, I think so. I think he's mentioned it. And so I was like, okay, that's her daughter. And I remember that Dr. Isi was pregnant. I'm like, ask her, does she have a twin? And she goes and confirms that she has a twin. I like the blood of Jesus. I go, it's over 20 years later or more. And that reconnection was made. It's incredible. But it's my journey to where I am and all the people who have poured in. It's never really in isolation. It's never in isolation. There are so many people who are on that path. Yes, you've worked hard. Yes, you've done the things you've done. But it's really everybody on your journey. It's really everybody on your journey. I I used to have a colleague who sat beside me. When I first started at the job I talked about earlier, a coworker came and also a Nigerian goes, hey, there's a Nigerian babe that sits beside you. Literally his exact words. She was gone for a month, and then when she came back, I was very happy to find another, and we became friends, sitting side by side. We worked together for several months, maybe at least over a year. And one day she comes, and I'm like, what does your wife do again? I'm like, well, Stella was navigating her own immigration journey. She had moved from London and couldn't start work. And like, well, there might be an opportunity that would be good for her. I know somebody who is doing a startup. Maybe let's make an introduction. Like, absolutely. You know, my own is to drag the woman along, any opportunity. And so that was how we were introduced to Sayu officially. When Sayu started Space Point, or when she was doing Space Point and so Stella's first opportunity in the world of agility here in the US started there. Again, people pulling us up. And so now where she's talking about all the cool things she is and all of that, that journey started with somebody saying, hey, I know somebody who is doing something. And then the person doing the thing said, hey, you know what, come on in. I think you're smart enough. I think you can do it. And like everyone said on the panel, just going and doing an excellent job, doing a great job. Stella worked. We used to travel. Sorry, your place was far. It was far. But we used to commute, but she embraced that trip with all of her heart. And it's led to opportunity and opportunity. I can tell stories on stories of how I've been nourished and nurtured. And I just chose the two women I'm talking about today because two of them have similarities. I had a mischievous idea in mind behind the scenes. I wanted two of you to be in one breakout room. Because I was going to be like, this two Benin women is going to be crazy. Married to a woman, it's going to So yes, both of you are married to a woman. I'm making that connection. So I was like, I just wanted to, I'm going to be in that breakout room just for the intelligence and the fireworks of it, because both of them have energy for days. Incredible. So, but it's all the people that have poured in on the journey. Right, from the days you bought that Moses boat, and you brought to us when we were clueless about what to buy for our first baby, because there was nobody around at the time. I took your advice so much, I got in trouble with my second child. Because Sai told me you have to give birth to your children in Emory. And so we adopted Emory. Again, we were commuting from Lawrenceville to Emory downtown for no reason, because Sai said so. And there's a point to all of these stories. But we would go to Emory and then go, and the experience was great. And we had our first daughter, beautiful, if I was born. The first decoration, everything. Sari came to the house, like made sure everything was awesome. And so now the first experience was good. We decided, second child, Emory, so we'll have all of our children. Baby number 2, we kept going to Emory, same deal, and it was going well. On the day the baby was to be born, we had moved even further away, because now we're in Sugar Hill. Everybody who knows Stella is, if there's work is first thing before everything else. We had gone to the doctor in the morning. The doctor said, hey, you're dilated 5 cm. Stella was like, yeah, we got this. Let's just go finish up the thing we're organizing, and then we'll come back in the evening and I'll have this baby. Supportive husband, I said, sure, why not? And we did all the things, planned events, put together the program. Around 4 p.m.-ish, we decided to drive in Atlanta traffic to Emory downtown. Men and brethren, we did not make it to Emory. I delivered my second child by myself in the car. So that was why I obtained my doctor of... We didn't make it to Emory, so we ended up giving birth to her in Gwinnett County Medical Center somewhere. But that's, again, it's a power of community, so good information and with good intention, so you have to add context to it. But we're powerful. Our power is in the collective. Our power is in the collective. There is so many opportunities that we can access when we come together. One of the issues, the people who get in trouble here in our community, a lot of it is information-based. It's somebody has told you this is the only way you can go about it. Or someone has told you this is it. Or you've seen somebody and this is where they are capped, and for you that becomes your cap, that becomes your limit. And so if you don't see greatness, you don't aspire to. What you don't see, you don't aspire to. But we can't really, there's only a limit to the greatness we can accomplish or become if it's just us and just working hard by ourselves. When we go together, we can go farther. There's so much potential in us as a collective. We are intelligent people. We are resilient people. We are powerful people. Put us in a situation, we'll figure it out. That's the strength of the African immigrant. Why are we not a bigger voice? I asked this question last year and I'm asking it again. Why are we not a louder voice? I'm grateful for the progress we've made in the last year as a collective, but why are we not a bigger voice? The midterm elections are coming up soon. And you know, we yesterday we were talking about it during the dinner with the VIPs. And like there's nobody pandering to the community and saying, what are you looking for? We have the numbers to shift the elections. If we collectively put our dollars together, we don't need capital if we put funds behind the business, it will survive. With the manpower and skill, with Mr. Dayo running products, and with Sayu doing what she does with everything she does. Sayu is a make it happen kind of person. Bring Dr. Isi to that, the company will not fail. Like any business will succeed with these people. How many unicorns are on the backs of African immigrants? And that's because we do well, but we do well by ourselves. You make your nice 150K, 200K, you're happy. You buy your nice house, and those things are good. But what if all of us can collectively put our 200Ks together, and 100Ks, and 70Ks? And we decide we want to build something, we want to have. Why can't we gentrify neighborhoods? And so it's not about individual success, it's about our collective success. In the last year, we've made some progress. I want to give us some impact reports. After our launch last year, we started having our expert series because we wanted to, again, breach the information or wanted to fight the information challenge we had within the community. And we launched what we call our expert series. And that means every week, we have a professional from within the community host a virtual session. 12 p.m. every Saturday. Somebody is coming and they're talking about relevant topics and people are asking real-life questions. So now you're not just depending on your uncle who came to the U.S. before you. You're not just depending on your friend who allowed you to stay in his apartment, and so you have to listen to what they say. You can actually ask questions from people who are doing it. Every week and I want to really shout out all of our professionals who have hosted sessions. I've seen a lot of us who have, taught sessions and given for free. All of our professionals are doing this voluntarily. No one is paid. AIM is for the people by the people. Every week. And so we've had that, and we've had over 21 sessions in the last year. You can clap for that. That's progress. We've not missed a week since we started. We've held over 7 community mixers. So once a month, we would gather in person to hang out, just again to make connections. All of our events, we've had over 500 participants. We had our women's conference earlier this year in March, and there was over 200 participants at that virtually from several countries. Since we launched last year, we have over 24 active volunteers that we call ourselves impact partners who just run the thing. So yes, I'm in front of it, but the truth is there's a whole engine, there's a whole army of people who are really working hard, who are committed. If you go outside, you see people people have been here since 6 a.m. just making this happen. We have over 20 expert facilitators, again, who come and share knowledge. Our leadership team has grown to 14 team members. We have 3 strategic partnerships, organizations that have partnered with us to, again, give value. And we've hired a couple of staff. We have 2 full-time staff and 1 part-time. And I've also borrowed all of the staff from my N-Star Technologies and converted them to. So we've built some structure. And I'm sharing this with you to show we've made progress. And we'll continue to make progress. We've grown our social media reach. Somebody said if we shook social media. with AIM. We've grown on social media. We've grown. Our LinkedIn following is grown. Our email list is grown. All the things, our website is live. Circle is growing. If you haven't joined Circle, please join Circle. I beg you. Join Circle. That's where we're doing that. So we've held, had several expert series sessions, and I won't go to the topics because of time. We've, like I said, some of the strategic partners that we've made some strategic partnerships we've launched in the last year. One with One Health. One Health is providing healthcare access for the elderly in Nigeria. So people here can buy subscriptions to provide medical assistance for their family back home. They get regular checks. They have access to ambulance. They partner with HMOs in Nigeria to provide healthcare for their elderly parents. So I think that's a blessing. And also FCMB, She Ventures, we've partnered with them to provide capital access to women within our community who want to start business. So that's progress. You can clap for that as well. Now, in terms of what's coming for the rest of the year into the 2026 when we gather again for the summit, we're going to continue our weekly expert series, our monthly mixers. Our keynote speaker talked about telling our stories, owning our story. Someone said in the story of the hunter and the lion, the hunter is always the winner because the lion never gets to tell the story. It's who tells the story determines the ending. The perception people have about us because they get to tell the story. My kids, God will forgive those people. The 3 daughters that I have, my house is a girls' hostel. The kind of questions they ask me about Nigeria sometimes, I'm like, you ignorant. I need to send you to boarding school. But it's stories that it's not just coming from nowhere. They're hearing something from somebody whether directly or indirectly. So if we don't own our stories, somebody will tell it for us. And so we're launching our AIM Chronicles podcast next month by God's grace. And please, in saying that, there'll be a sign-up thing outside. If you want to be a guest on that, please go sign up. We want to feature. We want to start telling our stories by ourselves. Next year, we're rolling out our AIM Catalyst programs. And these are more cohort-style programming, targeting specific areas of need for immigrants. So we found out that, yes, we're doing the expert series, and that's impactful. But now we want to be more strategic. We want to target specific outcomes. We want people to go through a process and come out with specific outcomes. And so next year, that will be launching. And then, of course, we have the summit coming up next year. We're also we've been getting plenty of people saying, when are you coming to our states? When are you coming to our country? We have the representation from multiple states. Boston is showing us love. Last year, we'll have more Boston here. Last year, we had many Bostonians, and we'll have Boston here. Texas has been good to us. We have Canada in the house today as well. That's, so we're global now. And different states. So we will likely be expanding to, or at least having a footprint. Let me not say expand, just say, but having footprints in multiple locations. We'll try to be intentional about that. And of course, Attorney Cassandra talked about the Advocacy Summit in October. And we still have a couple of key leadership roles that we want to fill. We have a special events coordinator that we want somebody to take on that role, and a director of programs. And so that will be an option. If that's an area of strength for you, please, we'd love to have a conversation with you about stepping into leadership. And then we also want to continue strengthening our partnerships with other aligned organizations. And so that's what we have coming up. But again, none of this is going to happen in isolation. Myself and Stella, and we can dream. But how far the dream goes is on the strength of the collective. And so I'm asking everybody you're already involved, but immerse yourself in it. See what we're trying to build. I really want you to see it. What does it look like? What will it look like if this actually works? It's working, right? It's working. Okay. Just imagine that where you go into an African community bank in Atlanta, and what you need is not credit score 850 because you just came here last year, you don't have credit. What you need is, okay, you built a business, and you have credibility, and we can verify that. Imagine if we could have our own semblance of a Chinatown, and where it's rich neighborhood, but it's Africans, and the schools are our schools, and they teach our languages in those schools. I want you to imagine it. It's possible. It can happen. I believe it. At some point in life, you run into something and you just realize you found a course that you're going to. This is it. This is it. This is it for me. This is it. This is the call. So I want you to immerse yourself and believe with me that we can do this. We can do this. We can. We can. The people who have gone ahead of us, they've tried. They've shown us how to survive in America. Now let's change the game. Let's make America realize we're here. Right? We're here. Let's build. Let's move from survival to building, to owning the structure, to owning systems. Let's be responsible for outcomes. Let every election, I really want elections to feature. I want the presidential candidate to come and say, I want to talk to the Africans in Atlanta and ask for what is your agenda, what's important to you. Because when they make policies that affect us, everybody, one of the reasons why a lot of people did not come, they're afraid of ISIS. It was literally a conversation. Feel like, what if ICE shows up? So the policies affect us. They do affect us. That's why we want to get involved in policy. We want to get involved in every facet of the economy. So I'm calling on us to get involved in multiple ways. And I'll ask Attorney Cassandra to just join me on stage briefly to tell us one way that we can get involved. We'll start with her way, and then I'll continue and tell us other ways. Can we put our hands together for Attorney Cassandra? She's our Director of Advocacy. She does an excellent job for us. She's always there when we call. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you so much, Dr. Namdi, for not only the information, but for also being so transparent in your journey and bringing us here. We all have been inspired and enriched by today's presentations, by today's information. Well, let me not speak for you. Have you been inspired? Have you been enriched? AIM puts in a lot of work throughout the year to provide this information, this access to everyone in our communities so that we can be present, so that we can show up, to Dr. Namdi's point. But another way that we can continue to support the work of AIM is by being strategic partners, by donating, because this work is fully self-funded by Dr. Namdi and Ms. Stella. If we all just take a minute, scan the QR code, you can donate directly to the mission and directly to the events and the resources and the things that AIM is doing impacting the community. For all my data folks, Dr. Namdi showed all the data on the screen. So you know where your donation is going, you see the work that's being done, and it is truly being poured back into the community. Even if not for yourself, for someone else who needs access to this information, help us to continue the work that we're doing. And no donation is too small. Every bit counts. We would like to continue doing this work. All of us are public servants at heart, even if we don't hold public office. And we, like Dr. Namdi said, we do this work for free because we want our community to be empowered with the information that they need to succeed. So thank you, and we appreciate all that you're doing, showing up.
Thank you very much, Attorney Cassandra. So yes, please, and I highly encourage everyone, don't just do a one-time. There's an option to do a recurring one. It helps us just have a budget. So we don't just move by, we move by faith, we're going to move by faith. But if we know we have $1,000 coming in, we can budget around that. So please, I highly encourage you, your $20, $50 a month recurring, will go a long way. I really encourage us to consider that. The Bible says you ask and you receive, so this is me asking. So better fulfill the Bible And let's be receiving. All right, so I'm asking now, if there's anyone that asks it, receive it, right? All right, so I'm asking with my full chest, please go ahead and contribute. No, write that check. That number in your heart is the Lord talking to you. Come on now. Add an extra zero to it, amen? Don't. Ushers, lock the door. somebody gets the joke with that one. But your donations are so appreciated. We're a 501c3 organization corporation, so it's tax deductible, and you get a statement of giving at the end of the year. I've mentioned the opportunities to volunteer to get into leadership. Please meet any of the volunteers at the entrance on your way out and let us know. If you want to sign up to be on the podcast as a guest, please sign up as well. There's a sign-up sheet on there. The key leadership roles that we have is, again, community events and director of programs. And if you want to be a part of shaping our decision-making, we also opening up opportunities for people to come on, our board members, to come on as a board member. Now, you're a board member, you're a fundraiser. Just know it. All right, so but if you feel like, yes, I want to be part of that, we want to have a conversation with you. Reach out, let us know, and we'll walk you through the process. Again, it's time to build, my friends. We're moving from just surviving to thriving. We want to make impact. We want to make a difference. It's about legacy now. What is it going to look like for immigrants coming after us? What would that experience be like? Thank you all for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to support AIM and the mission. Thank you for donating. That's the real feeling I'm having, is gratitude. There is no qualification. There's nothing that qualifies you to stand here before you. And so for you to believe in the dream and the vision of AIM, I feel truly blessed and honored that you've accepted, this vision. And I want us to continue. And I truly believe we can build something special. God bless you all.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Nnamdi. Let's give him a round of applause one more time.